Hey, mahal everyone. Welcome back again to the Broadway Saiyan YouTube channel. I'm your host 40 and we are back with another video on the Alchemist code. In today's video, we are doing another character spotlight, and this time it's going to be on our boy, Cadanova, the Flame Dragon King himself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. So guys, I just want to let you know, I have been reading your feedback and your comments on all of my character spotlights, so I'm constantly making changes, hopefully constantly improving the way that I do these. So you're going to notice that I'm going to do things a little bit differently for our boy Cadanova here. So obviously we're going to go ahead and start off with his flavor text. So Cadanova is origin from the Northern Pride. We have his details there for his height, weight, birthday, and blood type. His zodiac is Moon of the Imperial Fire Vault. He likes spicy food, and his hobbies are lecturing promising youth. Cadanova is an outstanding knight and serves as the captain of the 4th Regiment of the Holy Guard. He has an extraordinary talent for alchemy. He seems almost clouded in flames when he dances around the battlefield, which earned him the nickname Flame Dragon King. He's a tough soul who will always enforce his sense of justice and beliefs no matter what. Okay, and now the jobs that Cadanova has access to is Dragon Slayer for job 1, Dragon Knight for job 2, and Flame Dragon King for job 3. The range that he gets with these specific jobs for his melee attack, for Dragon Slayer, he has the standard melee range of 0 to 1 square. When he gets Dragon Knight, he has 0 to 2, which also adds penetrating, okay? And then afterwards, for Flame Dragon King, he goes back from 0 to 1. Alright, so now, this is where it's going to change a little bit. So now we're going to move on to a different scene here, so bear with me. Alright, so what I'm going to go ahead and do first is give you guys what I feel like are the noteworthy abilities for each specific class that Cadanova has access to, okay? So if we go with Dragon Slayer, Cadanova has, I feel like some of his better abilities are Dragon Fire, because one, it costs 16 jewels, so that's pretty cheap. You can use it like at the start of the battle, and it's a ranged physical attack, and this is accessible from the Dragon Slaying ability set. Then I also feel Dragon Leap is pretty good. It is a little expensive, which is 35 jewels, but the cool thing about Dragon Leap is that it's a jump attack, so it gives Cadanova the ability to escape from harm if he was about to get hit by a spell, and it's an AoE physical jump attack cross. So he hits a unit, and anybody around that cross area is also going to get hit. So that's a pretty cool ability to me, and it's very unique to Cadanova. That also comes from his Dragon Slaying ability set. And then from his basic Dragon Slaying, Blaze is a great ability. It costs 16 jewels. Again, it's pretty cheap. It's a physical attack buff. And the cool thing about this one is that it lasts the entire duration of the round, of the match. So unlike, let's say, Sharpening Focus for Holy Brawlers, which triples their physical attack, but it's only for 1 turn, this one just increases it, you know, and it lingers on. And then he also has Soar from basic Dragon Slaying, which costs 24 jewels. This one is cool, I feel like, and it's useful because it increases his move by +1. So if you need Cadanova to move a little bit further in the map, this is a good way to utilize that. And then he gets Captain's Roar, also from basic Dragon Slaying, which costs 24 jewels. This allows him to taunt, which Cadanova is pretty tanky himself, and being able to taunt an enemy and draw the aggro to him is very good, especially if you're trying to save your squishy units from taking damage. And then he gets Draconic Slam, which is pretty expensive at 40 jewels, but what's cool about this is that it's a physical attack and it's defense ignoring. Keep in mind the range on this attack is the same as a melee attack, but the fact that it has defense ignore, it's very useful, let's say, if you're farming those metal ratties that have high defense. And then he gets Situation Control, which is a passive from Dragon Slayer, which is great because it modifies the attack for his jump attack. So it pretty much buffs up the attack modifier for jump attacks. And then upon mastering the Dragon Slayer class, Cadanova gains HP, physical attack, and physical defense stat bonuses across all jobs once he masters this job. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and move on to Dragon Knight. So J2 is Dragon Knight for Cadanova. His noteworthy abilities for me are Dragon Breath. Costs 24 jewels, but it is a ranged fire physical attack, so it's pretty good, and that's from his Dragon ability set. And then he gets Dragon Slayer, which is 36 jewels, but it is a physical attack plus penetrate. So this one is... I see this more as like a buffed up version of a Dragon Knight's melee attack, but it costs 36 jewels and it has a little bit more range. So this is also from his Dragon ability set. And then his jump from levels 1 through 5, I feel like are pretty useful too. Again, jump provides Cadanova the ability to escape from harm's danger, and then land and deal a pretty significant amount of damage with jump attack. So this is from his basic dragon. They each cost their respective amounts that are listed right there, which is 16, 18, 25, 30, and 36 joules. Each level increases the amount of range that the jump has. And then his noteworthy passive for me is Jumper, because it's another attack modifier for jump attacks. And then upon mastering Dragon Knight, the stat bonus that Cadanova gets are physical attack, dexterity, and crit. So upon mastering this class, he gets stat bonuses across all jobs for that particular mastery. And then finally, we have his J3, which is the Flame Dragon King. His noteworthy abilities are Dragon Pyromancer, again 16 joules. It's a physical attack range from the Fire Dragon ability set. Great range attack, very cheap cost. And then at 35 joules, he gets Dragon Claw, which is a jump physical attack AoE 3x3 cross from the Fire Dragon ability set. And then he also gets Dragon Grave, which is expensive at 45 joules, but it is a jump attack, physical, AoE, 5x5 diamond from Fire Dragon. So it's pretty cool, and it has a pretty nice AoE range. And then from his basic Fire Dragon, he gets Blaze, which is a physical attack buff. Again, costs 16 joules, so it's pretty efficient, and it buffs up his attack for the duration of the match. He gets Supreme Flight, which is 24 joules. It gives him move +1 and boosts his physical defense for that turn. This is from the basic Fire Dragon ability set, pretty nifty. And then he also gets Fire Dragon's Roar, which is 24 joules, which provides him, again, a way to taunt enemies. So, you know, draw out that aggro so then your squishy stays safe. And then he gets Draconic Swipe, which is from the basic Fire Dragon set. Costs 40 joules, but again, gives him the option of having a defense-ignoring physical attack. And then his reactive ability is Stance of the Dragon King +2. This is amazing because it's pretty much the exact same thing as Vettel and Selena's reactive ability, where they have a chance to defend upon receiving damage, so it really minimizes the amount of damage that Cadanova takes. And then something that's unique to Cadanova is a passive skill he gets from Flame Dragon King called Honor of the Flame Dragon King, which makes him immune to charm. So it's very useful. I've been seeing a lot of charm in Arena, so if you take Cadanova with you and slap this passive on him, he won't get charm, which is really cool. And then the stat bonus upon job mastering Flame Dragon King is HP, physical attack, physical defense, and crit. So those are the stats that are that you get bonuses for that are carried over to the other jobs. Okay, now we're gonna move on to my what I feel like are the recommended setups for each job for Cadanova, should you decide to go with a particular job. So if you want to go with Dragon Slayer Cadanova, the recommended setup that I would recommend would be, obviously you're gonna want Dragon Slaying because that's already slapped on him, and then you're gonna want Basic Fire Dragon. Reason being is because Basic Dragon Slaying is essentially like a toned down version of Basic Fire Dragon, so why not go for the better set, right? And then the reactive ability, you're gonna want Stance of the Flame Dragon King +2 because it gives him more survivability. You could opt to go for the HP Drain +1, which is the reactive skill from Dragon Knight. However, I feel like survivability wise, this one is more consistent. I'd rather see Cadanova taking 1 damage than taking 200 damage and then draining some health back. No. And then the passives, you want to give him Situation Control, which is a modifier for jump attacks. And then for passive 2, you could further increase his attack modifier by giving him Jumper, or you can opt to go for Honor of the Flame Dragon King, so he has that charm immunity. And then if you want to go with Dragon Knight Cadanova, recommended setup would be Dragon. And then ability 2, I'm going to go with Basic Dragon. And I'm going to tell you the reason why. So obviously, we want for a reactive ability Stance of the Flame Dragon King with +2, because he has a little bit more survivability. And now this is the reason why you want to go with Basic Dragon for ability 2. Across all the 3 passives that he gets from all jobs, 2 of them improve his jump attack modifiers. So there's really no reason to go with the other sets, because if you're going to go with Dragon Knight Cadanova, you want to at least take advantage of the jump attacks. So that's the reason why I say go with Basic Dragon, so he has access to jump, and then he makes use of the passives that he has available to him. So this is what I would go with if you went with Dragon Knight Cadanova. And finally, Flame Dragon King Cadanova, you want to go with Fire Dragon, Basic Fire Dragon, again, Stance of the Flame Dragon King +2, Situation Control, and then either Jumper or Honor of the Flame Dragon King, whichever one you want to choose. So what are my final thoughts on Cadanova? So obviously the recommended job is Flame Dragon King. For those of you that were able to unlock him all the way to job 3, that is the recommended class. If you didn't, I would definitely go with Dragon Slayer because it's essentially a toned down version of Flame Dragon King. So what are his pros? He has a very unique and versatile set. So he has the ability to do jump, he can taunt, he has ranged attacks such as a Dragon Breath. He can buff his physical attack. He can buff his move. He can, what else can he can ignore defense. So it's unique and it's very versatile because he essentially has something for like almost every single situation. So that's what I feel like makes him unique and versatile. He has great HP, he has great physical attack, and he has great defense. So he's pretty tanky for what seems to be a DPS unit. And he also has an awesome leader ability for fire teams. So his leader ability gives a 50% physical attack buff to all fire units. So you could use him on a team, let's say with himself, Vargas, Raimi, and Zangetsu, or even Vettel. Okay, so that's what his leader ability is good for. His cons. So unfortunately, he doesn't really specialize. He's kind of a jack of all trades, so he's overshadowed by units who do a particular job that he does better. So, for example, Zangetsu deals more damage than him. Raimi deals more damage than him and is more mobile. Vettel is, a better later on actually will be a better tank, because right now Cadanova does have a little bit more HP than Vettel. Also, another con that Cadanova struggles with is he has low mobility. The highest mobility that he has is with Dragon Knight with 3 move and 3 jump, but Dragon Slayer and Flame Dragon King, unfortunately, he only has 3 move and 1 jump, so he's not very mobile. I mean, he does have that ability where he can increase his move, but still, it doesn't really make him that much more mobile. And then his agility is only average, which I feel agility is important because, you take your turn sooner, which influences jump. So again, those are his cons. But overall, I feel like he's actually a good character. He's an underrated character. Just because he's a jack of all trades doesn't mean that he's bad. I feel like it makes him versatile, so he has options for different situations. And then the gears that you want to focus on, so the stats that you want to focus on for his gear is, I would definitely prioritize agility because of his jump attacks, physical attack, HP, defense, and then the jewels obtained. So some gear examples you can go with are Gurren Blade, which is an amazing piece of equipment, which everybody should be farming right now because it gives Cadanova access also to his master ability. You can also go with Dazzling Blade because it has a chance of applying Quick to yourself, which is, or Quicken, which is like haste. You can also go with Charming Blade, so he has that ability to charm enemies, and I can't tell you how many times Charm has saved my behind from stages that I felt like I was going to lose. As a Dragon Knight, you can give him Mellow Lance because, again, it has a chance to inflict charm. And then you also want to go with Curious Doll because it applies resistances across all elements. Alchemist Mascot gives him an HP buff, so it already increases his already high HP. Knight's Gauntlet gives him some physical attack and some physical defense. And then Swallow Scarf increases his agility. So overall, that is my thoughts on the character. I hope this character spotlight helps you guys out. Again, I have been reading all of your comments and I have been taking a lot of them into consideration, and hopefully I'm constantly improving these character spotlights for you guys, and that this video for Cadanova was helpful. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe if you're new for future Alchemist Code content. I am the Broadway Saiyan. My name is 40. Stay tuned for the next video, and mahal, everyone.